Hey guys, what's up? It's Rachel here with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to do my Sephora VIB sale haul. Of course, I did not order mine when it's actually the sale. I had ended up ordering mine a few days before, so I didn't really get the sale. But since I did order it around the same time, I did want to go ahead and title it this video. I haven't posted a video in, to me, it feels like forever. It doesn't mean I haven't been filming, but I haven't been uploading, and I thought right now would be the best time for it. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to talk about is Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona is very, very pricey, and she's very well known at this point. Do you need Natasha Denona eyeshadows? No. I feel like they're more of like a luxury or just like a splurge item, but I really, really love them, and I feel like if you're just one of those makeup junkies, or like I said, you want to splurge, I feel like this is the way to go, because who doesn't love Natasha Denona? And if you haven't tried her eyeshadows, they do have minis where you can just, pretty much, the mini palettes to me are like a sample, so you can test out her formula and see how you like it. And then you do have the big, larger palettes that are $129. But before we go in and get into the palettes that I recently purchased, I wanted to talk about the palettes that I already had from her. And this is a Sunset palette, and it looks like this. On the inside, this is what it looks like. It is a mixture of shimmers and mattes. Very warm tone. Right up my alley. So this is the Sunset palette. This is one that I... And then I also already had this one from her. This is her holiday palette from last year. My lights, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is what it looks like. Very, very pretty. Now for the ones that I picked up during the sale or around the sale, even though I didn't get it off. But this is the Tropic palette from Natasha Denona. It looks like this. This is one that I would prefer to have got during the sale, because personally I feel like this is a summer palette, so I probably won't be getting that much use out of it. This is what it looks like, a mixture of shimmers and mattes. Then the next palette, the Sephora palette, looks like this. I feel like this one is a really good one for the fall time. And it's just a palette full of mattes. Then the next palette is the Lila palette, and it looks like this. A mixture of shimmers and mattes, really pinky purple tone. Very, very pretty. And then the last palette that is personally my favorite besides the Sunset palette, and this is called the Gold palette, and it looks like this. Very pretty packaging. And the colors are right up my alley. It's a mixture of shimmers and mattes, and especially this color. It's like a greeny gold blue shade that would be very, very pretty on the lids. So this is the one that I'm most excited for. Then moving right along with Natasha Denona, this is her holiday palette. This is the Cranberry palette, and it looks like this. Very pretty. Let me go ahead and open this up. This shade right here is like, everybody's coming out with these shades right here. There's like those lilac-y, pinky, purple glitter shades, and I love those shades. It looks great on a lot of different skin tones, and I love shades like that on the lid. Shades like that on the lid, it's very, very pretty. And this is the Cranberry palette. Natasha Denona has like mini palettes, and those palettes are really, really nice for if you're someone that you may want to eventually end up spending the money on a larger palette, but you don't want to spend it without testing out her formula. So they come out with these. So she has these mini palettes that are $25, and when I say they're mini, they are very mini. But like I said, it's a good way to test out the formula to see if it's something that you do want to splurge and invest in. So the first one that I have here is the Mini Star palette. When I was ordering online, they didn't have the bigger star palette, so I ended up going with the mini one. And this is what the colors look like. This, like I said, this is very, very tiny, but the colors are very, very pretty, and it's a great way to step your foot into the Natasha Denona world. Then the next mini palette that I picked up was the Mini Lila palette, and I really didn't need this one, but for some reason I was like, I'm getting that one, might as well get this one. But this is what it looks like here. It's just a smaller version of the larger Lila palette. Very pretty. If you hear those noises, that's my dog crying for no reason. Moving right along with Natasha Denona, I ended up picking up her Diamond and Blush palette. I picked up the one that was for medium deep medium to deep skin tones, and I did pick up the one that was for lighter because I am someone that I like to mix and match, and I'm all about like having the whole collection, even though that's not a good thing. That's a very bad thing. But the first one we're going to talk about is, this one is the lighter one, and it looks like this. The packaging is really, really nice. I love that pink. And this is what it looks like. At the top is creams, and at the bottoms are powders. Very, very nice. Very pretty. Do you need this? No. This can be duped. You don't have to spend this much on palettes or powders or anything, but because like I said, they easily can be duped. But if you do want to splurge and you're just a makeup junkie, then I say go for it. And this is the second one, and this is the darker one. Again, there's creams at the top and powders at the bottom, and I accidentally dug my finger into this one, so don't pay attention to that. Very pretty. The next palettes I'm going to talk about are from Norris, and I feel like this collection from Norris is the best that Norris has ever done besides their Wanted collection. That eyeshadow palette from the Wanted collection is one of my all-time favorites. I feel like the colors are very, very beautiful, but not only that, that formula is just very different, and it's something that I haven't seen in a long time. But like I was saying, the Norris holiday collection has to be the best collection that I have seen from Norris in a while. And this is their Hot Tryst palette. This is the Hot Tryst palette, and this is what it looks like, the outer packaging. They killed it this year. I hope I have that where it's showing Norris. You probably can't see it anyway. One thing I will say, this palette is so hard to open. And then here's what it looks like. And then here's what it looks like on the inside. You have 2 highlighters and 4 blushes. Something that I have been hearing about this palette is the blushes are very buildable, so they're not like very, very intense. Like, you have room to work with them, so if you dip your brush in, don't think that you're going to get that full pigment, because this can look really scary, because if you put way too much blush, I've been there, it ruins my whole makeup look, and then I have to go in with a beauty blender and then foundation. But these are buildable, so they're not very intense. You can build them up. It's not anything to be afraid of, but this is what it looks like. It's one of my favorites. The next thing from Norris I picked up was their little blush, bronzer, highlighter trio, and it looks like this. That very pretty packaging in pink. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It has their famous Laguna bronzer, their famous Orgasm blush, and then this highlighter. Very, very pretty. And this is like really tiny, and I feel like this would be good for travel. The next thing I want to talk about is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I personally love their shadow formula. I feel like every palette that they come out with, I always gravitate toward it. I always end up picking it up because their formula for me just doesn't disappoint. I remember Subculture was like a big thing. Like, a lot of people were like hating on it, and I realized that it was very powdery, but I got it to work. I loved it. It's personally one of my favorites. And this year they came out with the Sultry palette for the holidays, and it looks like this. A lot of people were worried that this palette, like, the glitter would like fall off and come up on their hands. It doesn't. It's just very, very pretty. Then on the inside you have, it's pretty much a bunch of neutrals, but their shimmer formula, I don't know if you can see this or not, but their shimmer formula is very, very unique. It almost just looks wet on the lids, and that's what I really like. Something about these neutrals are they're more on the cooler side, which is very different. You just don't see that nowadays. A lot of palettes lean more toward the warmer side, but this is very different. And something that threw people off was like this coral pop of color right here. It's like a coral reddish pinky orange. That really threw people off because they're like, you have all these neutrals and then you throw that in there. Like, what's the point of that? It's almost like how they threw that neon yellowish green in the Prism palette. But I understand why they done that. Like, I can really incorporate that in the crease. I understand it. And I really appreciate it, if anything. So this is the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. The next palette I want to talk about is from Huda Beauty. I love Huda Beauty, and I know that she gets so much hate. I am a fan of her bigger palettes. I feel like the rose, it's like the rose gold edition. I have the older one, not the remastered. And it's not my favorite. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. I really do love the Desert Dust palette. And her new one, I haven't got a hold of it yet, But I really like her little tiny palettes, the Total Obsession palettes. I feel like those are like genius. I feel like those are great for travel if you're someone that travels a lot. But the one that I picked up, she came out with like 4 newer ones. I think 4. I could be wrong. But the one that I ended up picking up was Topaz Obsessions. Looks like this. And on the inside, you have a mixture of mattes and shimmers, and it's all very pretty. I ended up going with this one because I feel like this is the one I'd get the most use of around this time. I know I seen that she had mint, like a mint one, and then a blue one, and a red one. And I was like, don't get them all. Just get one that you know that you'll use the most, at least for right now. So this is the one that I ended up going with. Very, very pretty. The last thing I want to talk about is actually a highlighter. And this is actually a backup. I've already got this highlighter, but I wanted to get another one because that's how much I love it. And that's really saying a lot. This is the Fenty Beauty highlighter, and it's called How Many Carats. I'm actually wearing it today. This is what it looks like on the inside. My lights are not going to do it. I'm going to zoom you all in and see if you can somewhat see. I don't think maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. But anyway, this highlighter is very, very unique. I've never felt a highlighter like this. And I know Stila had like those putty highlighters. They still do, but this is even different than that. These highlighters feel wet. It's a cream to powder formula. And the best way that I can describe it is it's slick. So when you put it on your skin, if you're someone that you don't like glitter, then you probably won't like it. But this is the most wearable glitter that I have ever seen. It's just gives you like this fresh, like youthful, I can't even describe it. It just looks wet. It looks slick. And something about this highlighter, it's like I said, it is cream to powder, but it like if you're someone that you struggle with texture, it does not emphasize texture, and that's something that I really like. I know the Becca highlighters are very, very popular. I really like them, but they do emphasize texture. So this is my favorite. Like I said, you know it's saying a lot when you buy a backup of something, especially at this price tag. But I highly, highly recommend it. I can't say enough good things about these. That was everything that I purchased in my non-VIB sale haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.